If you've ever thought about buying a home, I'm sure you've heard a certain number. A number so big it can make the whole dream feel just completely out of reach. Well, today, we're going to take that number and we're going to bust it wide open. Let's dive into the 20% down payment myth. This quote, it just gets right to the point, doesn't it? For so many years, this one idea has stopped people dead in their tracks before they even get started. This belief that you need a huge pile of cash just to get your foot in the door. But the truth is, the world of home buying has changed.
And there it is, the number that causes all the stress, 20%. Let's put that in perspective, right? On a $400,000 home, that's $80,000, cash. For most of us, that's a staggering amount of money to save up. It feels less like a goal and more like a giant wall. So where did this number even come from?
Okay, so to really understand why this is a myth, we first have to ask, why does everyone believe it in the first place? It didn't just appear out of nowhere. There's some history here. But as you're about to see, what was true in the past, well, it's very different from our reality today.
And this is really the key. Yeah, for a long time, putting down 20% was the standard. It's what banks expected, but the financial world doesn't stand still. The rules have evolved. New programs have been created specifically to make owning a home more accessible to more people. The game is completely different now.
So if 20% isn't a hard and fast rule anymore, why do we even need a down payment at all? Let's break down the real reason for it. It's not about hitting some random arbitrary number. It actually serves a very specific purpose.
It all comes down to this one phrase, skin in the game. A down payment is basically your initial investment. To a lender, it's a powerful signal. It shows them that you are financially committed, that you're sharing the risk with them. It's your way of saying, hey, I'm a serious and responsible borrower. So let's just reframe this whole thing. The point isn't to clear some impossibly high financial hurdle. It's simply about showing your commitment. And the really good news is you can now show that commitment with a lot less than 20%. All right, and this is where everything really changes. Let's forget that old, outdated rule. Let's look at the actual real programs that exist right now to open the door to homeownership. Now, this table pretty much lays out the modern playbook. You've got conventional loans where you can get in with as little as 3% down. Then there are FHA loans at just 3.5%, and these are specifically designed to help people who might have less than perfect credit. And for our veterans and active service members, there are VA loans with, get this, 0% down. Now, it's true, with a lower down payment, you'll probably pay for something called private mortgage insurance, or PMI, for a while. But for so many people, that's a tiny price to pay to get into their own home years sooner.
And when you see it like this, wow, the difference is just incredible. Look at that massive, intimidating bar for 20% sitting next to these much smaller ones. The visual gap between the myth and the reality is huge. It really makes you realize how achievable these real numbers are.
Let's just focus on this for a second. 3%. So on that same $400,000 house, we're not talking about $80,000 anymore. We're talking about $12,000. Now, that's still a chunk of change for sure, but it's a goal that feels so much more attainable. Or what about this? 3.5%. The FHA loan is an absolute game changer. It was created to help people who might have been turned away from other loans because of their credit history. It's just another amazing tool that makes the dream of homeownership a reality for so many more people. And then you have this, 0%. It's almost hard to believe, right? For eligible veterans and service members, this is a benefit that has been earned through service. It completely removes the down payment barrier, making it one of the most powerful loan programs out there. So now that you know all this, it's really time to shift your perspective. The path to owning a home isn't blocked by a giant wall called 20%. It's actually a path with several different doors, and you now know where to find the keys. So let's just recap the big takeaways here. First, that 20% rule is an old, outdated myth. Second, you have real options, as low as 3.5%, 3%, or even 0% down. And what that really means is, third, home ownership is so much more accessible than you've probably been led to believe. And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? For countless people, the biggest obstacle standing in their way wasn't a lack of savings. It was a lack of good information. It was believing in a myth from a totally different time. But now, you have the facts. So we'll leave you with this. The 20% myth is a ghost. It's gone. You know there are real, achievable ways to move forward. The question is no longer, can I ever afford a home?
The new question is, what's my next move?
Hey y'all, I hope this helped you understand this stuff a little better. Let me know in the comments, and let me know if there is a topic you are curious about. Maybe I can help. You can also check out these 2 videos. Hope they help you. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hype this video. Always appreciate y'all, and thanks for stopping by the Stoop. God bless always.